Now then, people, welcome back to the Just Joe football show. This is your fourth and final pre-recorded upload ahead of my return tomorrow. I bet you're all excited for the live, yeah? Whatever. Anyway, listen, we're here to mix it up a little bit. Obviously, we're going to be talking about Leicester City because that's the next game that's on the horizon. I'm not sure what happened last night, which would have been Southampton versus Hull. Fingers crossed they dropped points. And, you know, we're still within touching distance, because if they haven't, and now we've got Leicester and we don't win that game, things are looking bleak again. But look, I'm maybe a little bit confident going into the game. But listen, we're here to talk to everyone's favourite Foxy Loxy. I think he actually told me in a video we already recorded that I deleted that he likes to be called Foxy Loxy. Or maybe he was once called Foxy Loxy. He doesn't like to be called it. Anyway, I'll stop rambling now. But please do smash a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, get your comments in, hit that notification bell, and I'll see you on the other side.
I don't care.
It's 1-0. We're fucking down. 13th in the championship. The takeover happened as I said it would. People will be... Oh, when have we got Leeds? Okay, folks, so as promised, here we are with Lox. Was it Foxy Loxy? You like to be called it?
No, I don't like to be called it. Someone in school used to call me it, mate. Yeah.
Love it. Listen, mate, thanks very much for coming on and doing this again. I know we've already done an hour's worth, and I deleted it like an absolute pleb, mate. So we're back again.
It's all right, mate. It's an excuse to catch up again, so it's all good.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure, because we're recording this now Saturday morning, a couple of hours before the Leeds game. I'm sure you've seen the Southampton result last night, 2-0 against West Brom. It's a huge result for them, that innit? It's a tough place to go.
Yeah. I think, did they say only two teams had beaten them at home or something like that? Leicester and someone?
Huddersfield, I think.
Yeah.
I think it might have been Huddersfield. Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, we all know Carlos is he's a great coach. I mean, Oscar always goes on about him. I always say, did you see his tweet the other day about
in a one-off game? There's no one.
Well, no. Oscar said with West Brom with money, Carlos wins 46 out of 46 games, which I thought was a little bit wild. But
did he actually say that?
Yeah. You can check it out, mate. But no, they're a good. He's a great coach. A hard place to go, but I'm not surprised that they won that game. They needed it first of all. They needed to bounce back, and Russell Martin at the end was a little bit cringe, wasn't he? He is a bit of a cringe bag. Yeah,
you see what he did to Carlos Cole? I was calling him a snitch last night when I did the watch along, because Carlos Colbrand touched the ball. Obviously, by the law, you assume it's a red card, but it wasn't as if a Southampton player was close to it. It was actually Furlong, I think, who was going to get the ball, a West Brom player, and he's going, and I went, you absolute divvy. Like, why are you doing that? But listen, I don't like him.
No, I don't like him either, no. He's, and I've heard interesting stories as well, mate, about from a few Swansea fans about him, like, sliding in their DMs and stuff, after games when they've been slagging him off. He's proper yeah, mate, yeah. But anyway, that's a story for another day. So, yeah, I'm not surprised they won. And, yeah, pressure's on you again, I suppose.
Yeah, Plymouth, actually, within about 3 hours, mate. So, do you think we win this game? Because we're coming from the future, but, like...
Oh, yeah, early kickoff, innit? In 3 hours, that's right, yeah. Yeah, I think you win it. I'm guessing is Morgan Whittaker fit? Morgan Whittaker fit?
Yeah, do you know what it is though, right, bro? Famous last words. In the 3 games we've played him, he's not done anything. I think he got an assist maybe in the FA Cup, but in terms of overall performance, he's not been great against us.
He didn't do anything against us either, mate. I mean, this is a farmers' league, really, isn't it, mate? So these players can do it against these. They can do it against. They can do it against Huddersfield and QPR, mate. But they can't do it against Leicester or Leeds. So
yes, I love that, mate. I love that. Right, let's move on just to our game then, mate. Obviously, we spoke yesterday, so there will be a bit of repetitiveness, but seeing, like, Georgie LCFC and Chester Leicester who are in my chat, regular Leicester fans, they've sort of written this game off a little bit, as though, they beat us at our place, they're undefeated at home.
Yeah.
you're looking at the points record, for example, and saying 10 more wins, and you're in your calculations, you're going, well, Leeds is a loss. And I don't know, where does that come from, bro? Because I'm shitting myself over it. I can't lie to you.
Well, a lot of people will argue Leeds are the best team in the league. A lot of people other than Leeds fan. I'm not saying when Leeds fans say that. I'm not saying they're biased. I can see why people say it. I think your brand of football is better on the eye than ours. It's more exciting, obviously. So I get why people say you are the best team in the league. Personally, I think you're the second best team in terms of how you play. I prefer us, but that's just obviously, again, my preference and bias. But
mate, even if you were playing shit, you would still prefer you.
Well, I like it, mate. Yeah, because look. You would have heard all of the controversy coming out of our fan base this season from fans saying that they don't like the style of play and all of that. And to be honest, mate, that is majority 50, 60, 70-year-olds who are saying it because what, it's just what football's like now. You've got this is football now. I know you play a little bit different, but this is football as we know it now. And that comes from obviously Pep, basically. Pep brought it to this country. So it's exciting. I mean, for us, obviously, as fans, we're not used to it, and it's. I think it was bold, that the club hired Enzo, and he had to come in and turn it around and get a bunch of players who weren't good enough in the Premier League to play this football. But anyway, I think we'll be the best team, but I do think Leeds are the second best team. Now I know I'm still saying I think Southampton will finish second, and that's mad because I'm saying Leeds are the second best team, but I just feel like. I don't know. Obviously, they've got the game in hand. Well, they don't now. It's level now. No. But if you win today, they've still got the game in hand.
I think this video, actually, mate, will drop 6 p.m. and they'll kick off at 8. So they still have it as this comes out. But yeah, I tell you what, just did they beat Hull City?
Again, Hull are a tough side, but I think they will win that. Yeah, look. I don't see obviously us, Leicester, Leeds, or Southampton dropping many points now until the end of the season.
No,
I think Southampton have now gone through a little bit of a rough patch, and when I say rough patch, they lost one game, right, and against Bristol City, and they had a bit of a shaky period in the Huddersfield game as well.
Yeah. Even the West Brom game, mate. I think Carlos Corberán screwed himself because he made 3 changes, and if he doesn't make them 3 changes. I mean, he brought off Jed Wallace, he brought off John Swift and someone else, and the subs that came on just didn't work. And I think,
Yeah. So, like I said, I think, I do think your question was, have I written the game off and where does that come from?
Yeah.
I think so. I think we can afford to write it off. That sounds bad and it sounds a bit complacent, but
I know you were saying yesterday as well, bro, that Leeds will want it more in effect.
Yeah. Of course.
Right?
Yeah, you need it more and you want it more. I think I said yesterday, Leicester could lose the next 4 games and still get the points record, let alone win the title. And it's really, I don't know about this, mate, this points record, because I think 2 teams are going to be close to it. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? Yeah.
2 teams will definitely hit 100 points, I think, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
historically, right, the turn of the year when Farkas got promoted with Norwich, they've gone on 14 and 15 game winning streaks or undefeated streaks. I think one season he went on 21 but won 15 games of that 21 or something. So it's not inconceivable that both you and another also get 100 plus points, which is wild, man.
Well, 3 teams will definitely hit 90. There's no doubt about that. Us, you and Southampton will. And then, you're 7 games unbeaten, right?
7
wins. 7 wins in a row.
Yeah.
So, if that continues, then, you'd probably... I mean, what are you... 60, are you on 66 points, I think, is it? 66. And we're on 78,
mate,
I believe.
You're dicking the league. You did say, bro. Although there are some Leeds fans out there that think if we do beat you on Friday, that the league's not done yet, but not for me, mate.
Yeah,
I think it's done.
I don't see how there's people
Yeah.
that think that. Like, we've seen Leicester lose this season. We've seen Leicester lose. Have you got the table there? Is it 5 losses Leicester have got?
4, mate, just
4.
4.
So,
Yeah.
and I think 2 of them came back to back, but the others, we lose and then we come again the week after and
Yeah.
we dick a team. So I'm not concerned in any way. And to be honest, mate, and your viewers will know, I've not been concerned at all season. Like,
No.
we lose 2 in a row, I wasn't concerned because I know. And it is mostly down to the fact that our team is too good for this league. Of course it is. I'm not saying it's all Enzo and it's all it's all the football that's got us where it is. I think Enzo has definitely got us 11 points clear. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But the team being top 2, top 1, that's not a surprise. So,
No.
but yeah, I am concerned though about the Leeds game a little bit.
Yeah.
In terms of the one-off game.
Yeah, 100%, and I get that. Obviously, I think we've, up until this point, obviously we'll play Plymouth in a couple of hours, but we've scored 17 and conceded 1. That's no joke, do you know what I mean? So I think anybody coming up against Leeds is rightfully a little bit concerned. That could change, couldn't it, in a couple of hours if we've got beaten by Plymouth. We'd be like, listen, we'll get these now. So every game now, the mad thing is, not so much for yourself, but for Leeds United, Southampton and Ipswich, every game is a must-win game. You've got to put points on the board, it's mad.
Yeah.
We've already done our combined 11. I didn't want to keep you too long, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to flash it up on the screen for us, Locks, and then we'll have a talk through it, because there's some main talking points, really. We'll let the viewers know how we came to these decisions, if you like, because
it was good fun putting this together. I think
yeah,
you were surprised by one I gave up, but
yeah. Okay, so as you can see, folks, we've got Hermanson in goal, Ricardo Pereira at right back, Joe Rodon and Wout Fess at centre back, and then surprisingly Junior Fairport left back. In midfield, we've got Harry Winks, Ethan Ampadu, and Keenan Dewsbury Hall in the 10. Somerville on the left, James on the right, and Patson Daka up top. Now, Locks, I don't think there's many that will grumble with that, but if we look at specific positions where people could grumble, so let's talk. I'm going to talk about right back first of all. Look, Archie Gray has been phenomenal for me. He's been phenomenal all season, but it's not his natural position. There has been games where he has struggled. I think Ricardo Pereira. Listen, I think he's gone a little bit of an unsung hero. Whenever I've watched Leicester, he doesn't seem to get the flowers off a lot of people as much as he deserves. Obviously, you'll see him week in, week out. I know he does invert and does play into midfield, and you were speaking earlier about the impact of Pep, and that again is another impact of Pep, that fullbacks are doing this, not just at Leicester but every fucking where nowadays. But yeah, we opted for Ricardo Pereira. I know you've seen Gray and stuff as well, but and I shared this team actually with Locks and Andrea, and they were like, "Nah, Gray's got to go in," and I even disagree.
What?
And I'm one of Gray's biggest fans, biggest champions, and I concede that Pereira has to win there.
I'm surprised. You said Andrea said
Yes,
Gray over Ricardo.
yes.
See, that baffles me. I think Andrea is normally a very smart man who isn't too biased. But I don't see how you can look past Ricardo. I mean, again, arguably he's in the team of the season. People will argue maybe Walker Peters. I suppose that's a shout. But in this combined 11, I mean, I think you suggested, Joe, that is there a little bit of hype because of his age, Archie Gray? For me, Ricardo Pereira has been probably. It's hard for Leicester fans to say who has been player of the season because so many have been great, but he's definitely up there for us, and he's really vital to the system as well. I mean, Enzo said he needed someone agile, someone quite small and agile in that role to drop into midfield and be a part of the link-up play and progressing the ball as well. So, yeah, I think there's no doubt for me that he's got to be in there. Yeah, there's no way he's not making it. And I told you yesterday, Joe, that he surprised us all because he's had really bad injuries, ACLs, and I think he got his ACL got done by Grealish just before COVID, and then he came back, and then I think it was a ligament in his ankle got done by Tyler Morton, is it? He was from Liverpool, wasn't he, the youngster.
Tyler Morton, yeah.
So he's been unlucky with injuries for sure, but this is his this season now is the most games he's played for us in one season already. So
maybe he needed to drop down to a lesser level, bro. And
well, I think a lot of them did. I think a lot of them.
Same with Leeds players, bro. Same with our lot. I think.
Yeah, exactly. So I think the clubs in general, Leeds, Leicester, the clubs in general needed a drop down. So yeah. But no, Ricardo for me, I can't argue it. I don't think.
No. One position that I was surprised that I managed to get. Well, listen, I weren't even pushing him in. We went from right back over to the other side at left back, and Junior Firpo's in there. Now, a lot of people watching this will go, well, yeah, obviously he's in there. But if we're being realistic, his recency bias does play a part because recently Firpo has been very, very good. But I was surprised that Locks conceded that position because I'd have thought James Justin would have gone in at left back. But talk to me about the reasons as to why, because you have played Doyle, you've played Justin there, and you haven't been impressed really.
Well, they've both been good, but they've not been special considering, when you look at the other players, I'd probably say Doyle and Justin have probably been the two weakest players for us. I mean, Doyle started the season. He was probably the weak link in the back line. But then I think when he got injured, Justin came in again. Justin's a little bit of a weak link. He's not great defensively. He scored a really good goal, actually. But going forwards, there's no complaints. But defensively, he's just not great. And I just think now they kind of seem to be sharing that role. It seems to be every other game they swap out. And so I don't think either of them have been in a team consistently and being good enough consistently for me to put them in there. So yeah, recency bias, a bit like the striker we've gone for. Recency bias, yeah. I've said let's put Firpo in.
Moving on to midfield now, I think it's pretty cut and shut, but I did try, or at least gave some flowers to Kamara, but I do think, look, Ampadu's been phenomenal, and I think sometimes you're guilty of being able to play multiple positions and therefore don't get the flowers you deserve. And I think that might happen with Ampadu. I think, when we get to team of the seasons and stuff, I think he could miss out just because he's played equally as well at centre-back as he has in midfield. And now Gruev's in there and Kamara's been phenomenal as well. But I think over the course of the season, body of work, I had to get Ampadu in there. And look, you said when we did this, in terms of most important player and how the system works, without Harry Winks, your system probably falls to bits.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, look, they say a broken clock is right twice a day. I've been right about the points record, well, potentially, and I've been right about Harry Winks. I'm sorry, but he has been, I want to say the player of the season. Dewsbury Hall probably takes it, but Winks
in the league or for you, Leicester or in the league?
Oh, for us, yeah. I was going to
say
him or Dewsbury Hall. I think obviously Dewsbury Hall gets the
of course,
yeah, because of the numbers, goals, assists, and all that. But Winks, there's a really interesting video I saw last night. Actually, it was after we spoke, and Winks was being interviewed by BBC Radio Leicester, and mid-interview, Enzo comes over, puts his hands on Winks' shoulder, and says, "Without this player, this isn't possible. Where we are right now, we wouldn't be here without this guy." And it's hard to argue with that. We've seen Hamza Chowdhury have cameos in that role, and it's Hamza Chowdhury, So yeah, I think people will argue that other players deserve it. Maybe Kamara, people will say Gruev potentially, but I just think Winks again. He is the man that makes the system tick. Without him, we might not even be top, let alone 11 points clear. So for me, in terms of importance and then consistently performing, Winks has got to be in there.
A couple of goals as well, I think, from that position, right? I've seen
a couple of goals, he scored one. Least. Yeah, he scored a screamer against QPR.
There was one breakaway goal, weren't there? I think a counter-attack.
That was West
doing
Brom.
That game. I think I did that game when I remember.
I remember seeing your reaction, mate. You were just like, "Oh no!"
Mate, I was getting battered on social media by Leicester fans as well. I remember because I'd gone, "They're so lucky. They've been under the cosh," and then they get. I remember it. Yeah,
But no, I
yeah.
think West Brom equalised in like the 85th minute, and then we
Mm,
scored that on the 90th. So they
that was it.
equalised, and then they went for it. They had
Yeah, I
like
remember.
literally
Long
11
throw,
men, 10
wasn't
men
it? It
forward.
was a long throw, I think, and then
No,
boom.
it was a corner. It was a counter attack from a
Right.
corner. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and then Dewsbury put in Winks. He nearly missed it. To be fair, open goal, he
Yeah.
nearly missed it. But you would have loved that, yeah.
Yeah.
But Harry Wanks and all that.
Yeah.
But no, he's got to be in there, mate, for me. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree. Oh, fuck's sake, Joe. Moving on to the 10 now, because I know a lot of Leeds fans will be spitting feathers when they don't see Rutter in this team. And look, for me, any other player in this division, Rutter gets in ahead of. The only reason he doesn't get in of Dewsbury Hall is because, for me, Dewsbury Hall has come up clutch on a number of occasions. If I think of important goals throughout the season, important moments, and I guess when I mention goals as well, it's an area of Rutter's game that is lacking. He does everything else, but if he could score goals, I'm telling you, this kid would go for a hell of a lot of money, or wouldn't even be at Leeds in the first place. I do think the main area of his game that needs improving is goals. Keenan Dewsbury already has that. You know, he can take set pieces as well. I remember that first game of the season, mate. Coventry City. You know, you're in the league. I remember, Stoke City coming down, and they had such a big team, and they came to Leeds United, and we slapped them up, right? But everyone was on Stoke, and similarly Leicester as well. And for you to get through a game against a team that was in the playoffs the previous year, and him to score 2 important goals shows like how pivotal he was going to be, and he continued to be in that vein. So as much as I wanted to get Rutter in there, I think in the 10, I think it's fair we have to go, okay, look, Dewsbury Hall probably is that guy.
Yeah, for sure. I was personally a bit. He has taken me by surprise a little bit. I mean, I remember in the summer I was in a group chat with you and Oscar, and I was actually slagging him off a little bit. I was saying he is nothing special. He's not really that good. And I have been really surprised by him this season. Obviously, he's played in that 10 or advanced 8 role, we call it now. And yeah, from game week 1, goals, assists. I mean, he's now on 10 goals, 12 assists. There is really nothing else you want, from your midfielder to be getting 12 goals, 10 goals, 12 assists. Again, yeah, probably, up there along with Somerville for maybe Championship Player of the Season. I think they'll probably give it to Dewsbury Hall if we win the league. Somerville,
I agree.
yeah, I think Somerville might get Young Player of the Season. He's 22, but I think if we win the league, Dewsbury. If Leeds won the league, you never know. I think Somerville would get it. I think whoever won the league would get it. But I don't think there's anything to really argue about. With Dewsbury Hall, I think any Championship fan in the league would probably put Dewsbury Hall in their Player of the Season. So in their Team of the Season.
Yeah. I agree with you, mate. I do agree with you on that respect. Now, let's talk about the wings, because you were happy to straight away concede Somerville, right? And there wasn't much debate there, Mavididi. Now, what Locks did want to do is still get Mavididi in, but I pulled rank because I said, has he played on the right? And he said no. And I said, right, okay. So then we had a debate over Fatawu. And I just think, Fatawu I don't think he's played anywhere near as much games as James. He does have a good return in them games, though. But just for body of work in the league, I managed to impress James upon Locks. Do you want to tell people, about the Fatawu and Mavididi losing out on them? Like, how do you feel about that, etc.? I bet you understand the Mavididi stuff, right? Because he's not played there, bro.
Yeah, I mean, if we're sticking to Mavididi is a left winger and we can't put him on the right, then yes, I'm happy to concede it. The Dan James one, look.
He's your Welsh brother, man. He's your Welsh brother.
No, I've always been a fan of Dan James, mate. I've always been a fan of him since he was at Swansea. Obviously got a few friends who were Swansea fans, and when he first started, they would tell me all about him, and I used to love watching him. To be fair, mate, he was class for Swansea in the Championship.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
The move to, obviously nearly moved to, I still love that. I always, sometimes if I need a laugh, mate, I put on that documentary just to see Dan James there with the Leeds shirt and then they get pulled last minute. But to be fair, the karma, it happened to us in January with Sensi. He should have signed anything.
Man.
So, Yeah, look, Fatu. I think it's 26 games or 20. I think it's 26 games Fatu's played. 3 goals, 9 assists. If there are any Leicester fans watching this, right, and there will be, obviously Georgian and a few others.
Yeah.
You might give me a bit of stick about the Firpo one, but don't give me stick about this right wing stock, because if it was up to me, Fatu would be right in there. I think, mate, he is the most exciting Leicester player I've seen in a long time. In a long time. Probably since Mahrez, the most exciting
Wow.
player that kind of, when he gets the ball, I'm like, something can happen here. He will create something out of nothing. I mean, you've probably seen the clips. They've been going around on Twitter recently for some reason, against Leeds, where he kind of flicked the ball over.
Didn't he hit the crossbar as well in that
Yeah,
game, though, I
mate, he
think?
nearly. Oh,
Yeah.
that would have. If he scored that,
Yeah,
it would
yeah.
have
It
been
was a good goal.
probably goal of the
Would have
season,
been.
one of. But he's just so excited, mate, and his ceiling is so high. He's 19 years old. I don't know what Sporting Lisbon were thinking. To be honest with you, mate, he's, you know, I think he just played a few games in the under-21s for them, and then they've let him come on loan to us. Sorry, if we go up, I think he's played 60% of the games now. So it's, if he plays 60% and we go up, it's 13 or 14 million, I think.
Not bad, is it?
Yeah, exactly. So that's going to be happening now. So yeah, if it was up to me, he'd be in there over Dan James. But again, I do understand where you're coming from. I think Dan James has got more, the numbers are higher. So yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what we settled on, because he's got 16 goal involvements, 10 goals and 6 assists this season for Dan James. So it's
Fatu's on 12 involvements. So
yeah. So I think that's fair. Now, to finish up, mate, we've got the striker position. Now, we did deliberate over this because neither of us really pushed forward anyone. Like Bamford, since turn of the year, been fantastic. He's injured again now. Pirro, I think the thing is with Pirro, and I spoke to Joe about this on another video, and I want to get your opinion on Pirro. We all thought whoever gets Pirro, and that's Leicester, that's Southampton and Leeds fans, they win the league, because he will be the top goal scorer. I think once you take Gyökeres out of the league, next one Pirro, whoever gets him wins the league. But he hasn't had that type of impact, and that's why for me, still a great signing, still got 11 goals, couple of assists, happy with the signing. I'm not saying it's poor money or anything like that, genuinely I'm not. But I just think in terms of what we got over what we expected is different. And you could put that down to Farker and stuff, but that's why for me, I've not really pushed Pirro and Bamford. As I say, it's a small body of work. So just give me your opinion on the Pirro, because I know you wanted him as well, right?
Yeah, I mean, you look at the goals the number of goals he scored for Swansea. You couldn't turn him down. I think, to be honest, mate, I think he probably would have suited us better in terms of the way we play, personally. But regardless, look, I think you're right that we did all think at the start of the season, whoever gets him, if not win the league, then at least, second place or whatever, or he's anyway. We thought he was going to score loads and loads and loads of goals.
You thought he would be top scorer, right? Definitely.
Yes, because of what he did in the Swansea shirt, and then I mean, was he top goal scorer or second last season?
I think top scorer for the last 2 seasons, mate. I think at Swansea.
Yeah.
And they're pretty bang average, bro, as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and they had Russell Martin as the coach and all, mate.
Yeah.
So that's why I thought you might go Southampton as well. But I think look, with the Daka situation, again, I didn't really want to push Daka, but I just think, again, it's a bit of recency, like with Firpo. Daka didn't play a minute for like 3 months at the start of the season. We tried to ship him off to Bournemouth. That didn't happen because of they went for Sinisterra instead, and and he came into the team like December time or late November, early December, and he just started scoring goals. And all the start of the season, our Enzo's first choice was Iheanacho, and then it seemed to be Vardy, and then it was Daka, up until kind of the new year. And then Daka went to African Cup of Nations, and then it was Tom Cannon, Enzo's first choice.
He did look well in
he looks
games,
good.
didn't he, Cannon?
Yeah, he's young. He looks good. He obviously he's just signed. couple more years, whatever. You never know where he'll be at. But I just think since coming back from African Cup of Nations, he's again straight back in the team. He's scoring goals again. He does seem to be Enzo Maresca's first choice. Enzo says that it depends on the opposition, on who he plays. You know, whether it's Vardy or Daka or Cannon. But I think Leicester fans now do see Daka as the first choice at the moment, which is a big surprise because it's like Vestergaard, mate. Leicester fans hated Daka. He was absolute pony, mate. He scored 4 goals.
Expecting big things when he came in because he was pacey as he was scoring goals. I think was it at
Salzburg,
Leipzig, bro? Salzburg, sorry. Red Bull player though, yeah. We listen.
Well, he replaced Haaland at Salzburg.
Yeah,
he replaced Haaland at Salzburg.
Trust me, I have history now with Red Bull footballers. Yeah,
I know.
Forget them, especially when they're from Salzburg. Yeah, they might be the odd ones, but like, wait till they get to Leipzig before you take them, and even that's questionable because even Liverpool have taken the likes of Naby Keita and stuff. I swear from there, and Minamino, and that's not worked. So that Red Bull model. I'm not sure, but yeah, we've had Christensen, Aronson, all pony, Vorber, pony, all of them.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I hear you completely. I mean, it's another Farms League in it over there, but exactly. I just think, I mean, he scored 4 goals for us in Europe.
10 goals or 10 goal involvements in 10 games. You can't argue with that, man. For me,
exactly.
Yeah,
Again, he's like Vestergaard. He's kind of turning the fan base around, getting back on side with him. And yeah, that's all you can do as a footballer, mate. If you're getting stick, I mean, you've had it with Firpo, you've had it with Bamford, you know what I mean? You've had it with a load of players and even Dan James, I suppose, at times. So if footballers can do that, if they can change your opinion of them and get back on side, then fair play to them. So that's why Dak is in there. But come the end of the season, mate, I imagine we'll both have a different answer. You know, it might be Perot, it might be Bamford, it might be Vardy, who knows?
Yeah. If Pirlo scores the goal against Southampton that sees us get promoted, he's in. Do you know what I mean? So it's all about moments, innit?
I tell you what, I love, mate, the video of Perot, the Swansea fan. Did you see it? Of getting proper wound up at Perot.
Yeah. It's brilliant, innit? He didn't give a shit, you know. He didn't give a shit. He wasn't like Declan Rice. I thought Declan Rice was very professional against West Ham, but Pirlo just didn't.
I don't like it, mate, because I saw the Declan Rice one, mate, and he ran. Obviously ran to the corner, you know, run to the corner, run back to the halfway line, you tit. You know what I mean? He's like running to the corner. Why are you making a big deal of it? Just go to the halfway line, done. But
see, I like Rice though, me, so I'm like, fair play. I think he's great. Right, mate, listen, before we finish up, if you're to make any changes, we're allowed one change each. What would it be, mate? What would it be?
What, just Leicester players, you mean?
Any, if you were to make any change, just one within that side, swap one out and for one in, who would you be? Who would it be?
So if to put a Leicester player in, it would be Fatu. Yeah, it'd be Fatu for sure.
Fatu over James.
He'd have to go. Again, James, Justin, and Firpo are very close. But Fatu, I feel strongly about. They just don't fall in love with the loan player. I mean, he's technically not a loan now. He's going to sign. So
same with us with Joe Rodon, bro. We can't.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, but you haven't got an option to buy. We have, so.
Yeah, fair.
But I am in love with Abdul Fatawu, mate. I love him.
There you go. I love that. Listen, just to keep up the Harry Wanks agenda, I'd swap him for Kamara. That's what I'll do. But listen, Locks, thank you for giving up 2 an hour and a half of your time now, because we've had to record it again, but this was probably better. How's about that? Listen, mate, enjoy your weekend. Good luck. Who have you got?
Middlesbrough, mate, at 3 o'clock.
Middlesbrough. Away or at home?
Away.
Home, sorry, yeah. Because they're Greenwood, we spoke about it yesterday, Greenwood free kick, weren't it, that beat you?
Yeah. So, I mean,
I hope Luke Ayling scores and assists again.
Oh, yeah, he's there as well, isn't he? And I'll tell you who else is there. Luke Thomas, but he can't play, obviously, because he's on loan.
Nah.
But maybe he would have got into the combined 11 if he had sticked around or gone to Leeds. He nearly went to Leeds,
mate. He wanted the Premier League and Sheffield United said,
I did tell you he was wank, mate. I did tell you.
You did. Fair enough. Listen, folks, we'll leave it there. Listen, make sure you go check out Locks at Leicester City Fan TV. Thanks for watching this video. I will actually be back tomorrow night, so we'll have a live preview in the Leicester game with the Late Night Leeds crew. And yeah, so smash a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, get your comments in and hit that notification bell, and I'll see you in a bit. Bye-bye.